This is Revolution 2.0. No one was a hero. No one was a hero, because everyone was a hero. Everyone have done something. We all use Wikipedia. If you think of the concept of Wikipedia where everyone is collaborating content, and at the end of the day, you've built the largest encyclopedia in the world. From just an idea that sounded crazy, you have the largest encyclopedia in the world. And in the Egyptian revolution, the Revolution 2.0, everyone have contributed something, small or big. They contributed something to bring us one of the most inspiring stories in the history of mankind when it comes to revolutions. It was actually really inspiring to see all these Egyptians completely changing. If you look at the scene, Egypt for 30 years have been in a downhill, into a downhill. Everything was going bad. Everything was going wrong. We only ranked high when it comes to poverty, corruption, lack of freedom of speech, lack of political activism. Those were the achievements of our great regime. Yet, nothing was happening. And it's not because people were happy or people were, not frustrated. In fact, people were extremely frustrated. But the reason why everyone was silent is what I call the psychological barrier of fear. Everyone was scared. If not everyone, there were actually few brave Egyptians that I have to thank for being so brave, going into protests, as a couple of hundred getting beaten up and, arrested. But in fact, the majority were scared. Everyone did not want really to get in trouble. A dictator cannot live without the force. They want to make people live in fear. And that psychological barrier of fear have worked for so many years. And here comes the internet, technology, BlackBerry, SMS. It's helping all of us to connect. Platforms like YouTube, Twitter, Facebook were helping us a lot, because it basically gave us the impression that, wow, I'm not alone. There are a lot of people who are frustrated. There are lots of people who are frustrated. There are lots of people who actually share the same dream. There are lots of people who care about their freedom. They probably have the best life in the world. They are living in happiness. They're living in their villas. They're happy. They don't have problems. But they are still feeling the pain of the Egyptian. A lot of us were not really happy when we see a video of an Egyptian man who's eating the trash, while others are stealing billions of Egyptian pounds from the wealth of the country. The internet has played a great role helping these people to speak up their minds, to collaborate together, to start thinking together. It was an educational campaign. Khalid Said was killed in June 2010. The photo, I still remember the photo. I still remember every single detail of that photo. The photo was horrible. He was tortured, brutally tortured to death. But then what was the answer of the regime? He choked on a pile of hash. That was their answer. He's a criminal. He's someone who, escaped from all these bad things. But people did not relate to this. People did not believe this. Because of the internet, the truth prevailed, and everyone knew the truth. And everyone started to think that this guy can be my brother. He was a middle-class guy. His photo was remembered by all of us. A page was created. An anonymous administrator was basically inviting people to join the page, and there was no plan. We didn't know what are we going to do? I don't know. In few days, tons of thousands of people were there. Angry Egyptians who were asking the Ministry of Interior Affairs, enough, get us, get those who killed this guy, to just bring them to justice. But of course they don't listen. It was an amazing story how everyone started feeling the ownership. Everyone was an owner in this page. People started contributing ideas. In fact, one of the most ridiculous ideas was, hey, let's have a silent stand. Let's get people to go in the street, face the sea, their back to the street, dressed in black, standing up silently for 1 hour, doing nothing, and then just leaving, going back home. For some people, that was like, wow, silent stand, and next time it's going to be vibration. You know, people were making fun of the idea. But when actually people went to the street, the first time it was thousands of people in Alexandria, it felt like it was amazing. It was great because it connected people from the virtual world, bringing them to the real world, sharing the same dream, the same frustration, the same anger, the same desire for freedom. And they were doing this thing. But did the regime learn anything? Not really. They were actually attacking them. They were actually abusing them, despite the fact on how peaceful these guys were. They were not even protesting. And things have developed until the Tunisian revolution. This whole page was again managed by the people. In fact, the anonymous admin job was to collect